Welcome to Giggles and Gratitude. I'm Dena.
Hey, I'm DiANNA.
How are you this lovely Sunday, DiANNA?
I am so good being here with you and all of our listeners.
Yeah, I love Sundays.
I do too.
We have a lot of fun on Wednesdays with our You Know Something. We talk about everything under the sun, and we laugh and we have fun, but our Sunday shows are just kind of chill and relaxed and always leave feeling inspired and hopeful. You help me with that.
Oh,
You really do. So I hope we share that with our listeners too. But
hope is a wonderful word. It's always needed.
yeah. And DiANNA is kind enough to do a DiANNA'S devotion at the end of every episode. Just whatever is inspiring her at the moment. She might share a story about her life. She might share a quote, somebody who inspires her. She might read a scripture, but it's just a nice little
Ending.
Yeah, a little dessert to leave you with on a Sunday.
I love that.
No
Yummy
calorie.
dessert.
Exactly. So speaking of dessert, that kind
Okay.
of ties in good. Something I was grateful for this week. I think it was our You Know Something episode. We said, Happy Valentine's Day, eat the candy.
Yeah.
Buy yourself the candy.
Right.
I took my own advice.
Good for you.
I went to get gas just at a convenience store and I had to go to the bathroom like I always do. So I ran in to go to the bathroom and I came out and
There it was. There it was. The chocolate bar.
Well, I didn't want to buy the big heart candy because that just is forever in your life.
And on your hips.
It is. And either I'm going to sit down and just eat it all at once to get it out of my
Right.
life and feel so sick and disgusted.
Right.
Or it's going to be there I'm like, here's some more of that candy I got to eat. And you take a bite and you put it back. Cause it's
So
like,
what did you buy?
I'm standing at the register and I look down and it's called Reese's Chocolate Lava Big Cup.
Mercy.
Now what sounds wrong about that?
Is that ice cream?
No, it's a
Or-
Reese's cup. Do you say Reese's or Reese?
I don't know. I say Reese's.
Reese's. We're Southern girls. We say Reese's.
Reese's.
And it's Reese's.
Reese.
Because the name is Reese. But I'm still going to
Reese's.
say Reese's. It's Reese's. I used to get made fun of that by somebody that used to be in my life, and they're not in my life anymore, so I'm saying Reese's.
I'm saying Reese's. So back to your buying of the chocolate.
Yeah. It's just like a Reese's cup. Oh, I said Reese's. Reese's cup. 2 of them in a package, but it's dark chocolate.
One for you, one for me.
Oops, I didn't bring one.
Oh, I got cut. I did not get part of the chocolate.
I thought about you.
Oh, well, thank you.
It would have melted.
You're
both
so
ways.
sweet.
But it's darker chocolate. Do you like dark chocolate?
I do.
I did when I was younger, but I have a
Yeah.
sophisticated palate now.
Again,
Yeah, and it's better for you.
I do believe it's an acquired taste.
Yeah,
I
it's a
don't
little
know,
bitter.
little bitter, but now I really love the bitter, and I like bitter ice cream.
I do too.
The more bitter, the better.
The better. That's how we live our lives. The bitter, the better. No. So it's a darker chocolate, and then the peanut butter, of course, is on the inside, whatever that wonderful creamy peanut butter mixture. But underneath that peanut butter is liquid dark chocolate. Like, I don't know, is that called ganache, where it's a liquidy, thick?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, that's the lava part. So it was, and it's a little bit bigger, a little bit taller because they have to have room for that lava hidden under there. So
The lava. You keep saying that word. The lava.
chocolate lava. Anyway, it was really good. It was just the right amount. Just made my head spin a little bit rather than.
See, had you shared with me, your head wouldn't have been spinning.
That's true. I'm gonna get you some.
You don't get me some.
Yeah, but for your nutritionist, 380 calories. So it is a
I
deal.
was gonna say 300. Wow.
Yeah.
I think I'll pass.
It does have 2% calcium, 6% iron, 4% fiber. So it's like nutritional.
And you learned all this how?
I read the back of the package because I thought I'm going to mention it.
And I bet that the guy's standing there just trying to check you out.
I'm reading the back.
And you're reading the back of a candy bar, and he's like, "Ma'am, can I help you?"
I was trying to see how much nutrition is in this bar. 0 vitamin D, it said. 0 vitamin D for whatever. Why do they put if it's 0? You know what I mean? Never read a package and thought.
Yeah, because there's a lot of other things out there that are not on that package that were 0.
I
So
know.
how does that qualify to get on the package?
It's like rubbing it in like calcium. None.
None. 0.
None. But anyway.
Because probably some people think chocolate
might have calcium.
Yeah. With all that lava in it. I love how you say that.
Lava.
Lava.
It does have 40% of the sugar you're supposed to take in a day. So that was a problem. But I'm not going to do it every day, but I highly recommend if you're a chocolate fan.
Yeah. Well, I'm expecting one next time.
All right, I will. You know, sometimes they take your regular treat, like a Pepsi, and they add all these flavors, or or they make a crunchy.
Oh, have you saw that new BLACKBERRY Dr. Pepper?
No.
Oh, but it's not sugar free. It's not the diet, so it's really good. It's 138 calories, so that's not so bad. But again, I'll have one every once in a while.
Dr. Pepper Blackberry. Well, you know, they have a Dr. Pepper Zero, which is pretty good.
It's not okay. As good. It's not as good. Yeah. I like the crispness. That's a hard word for me to say, but crispness of the Diet Dr. Pepper, especially in the mornings.
Okay. That's your breakfast of choice.
Well, it is. In the morning, I get up, and yes, my husband has the little ice cubes in the freezer for me in my cup, and he has my Diet Dr. Pepper waiting for me every morning in the refrigerator.
Oh, sweet. Well, that's your caffeine source.
Absolutely.
Rather than the coffee.
Correct.
Right? Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So try it. And then I also want to share some good news, something that I'm grateful for. I know sometimes we feel like Christianity is on the downslope. You know, less people are going to church. Churches are closing down. You see a lot of big empty church buildings. They're turning them into nightclubs. It's just like...
Oh, my goodness.
So I was happy to read this little tidbit. Bible sales. According to Inside History on Instagram, Bible sales are at an all-time high in America.
Fantastic.
If you think about it, it seems like everyone would have a Bible somewhere in their house, you know, if they're Christian, just it got passed along, or
right.
you like, I don't even know where this Bible came from.
I have 10.
Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm. So the fact that somebody went out and bought one meant they did not have one in their home, right? Or maybe they're gifting it to someone who doesn't have one.
Yes.
Or maybe their Bible's so worn out, they had to get a new one, which all are
good. Always a good thing.
Yeah, exactly. So it says recent data. Did you say data or data?
I say data.
Data, me too. Okay, good. You say data. Recent data shows a notable rise in Bible sales in the United States. According to Circa BookScan, Bible sales jumped by 22%. That's pretty big.
When is that?
In 2024.
Oh, wow.
Compared to the previous year, 2023, with 13.7, I guess that's million, it just says 13.7 copies being sold in the first 10 months. This increase is especially pronounced among first-time, that's what we were just talking about, buyers and young groups, including Generation Z and college students who are turning to the Bible for stability and meaning during uncertain times.
Amen. That's wonderful.
It is. It's great.
That's wonderful.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it when I read it, so that gives me hope. Speaking of hope.
Mm-hmm.
And then I just wanted to say a little something about showing up when you don't want to. You know, I told a story last week about volunteering in the kids department in church, and there are mornings when that alarm goes off and I think, I just don't know if I can do this, but you have to.
Right.
Because people are counting on you.
That's right.
It's not something I can weasel my way out of and keep hitting my alarm snooze because people are counting on you.
You have a responsibility.
Yeah. And so I did it. I showed up. So what caused me to do that is I didn't want to disappoint God. I felt responsible to people, and it's very important to me. So that will get you out of bed. So do you ever experience that? Like, I just don't know if I can do this today.
Every morning.
Every morning?
No, not really every morning. But yes, I feel like all of us have that morning that you feel like you can't even put your feet on the floor and get up and do it one more day. But really, that's not a choice. We have made responsibilities to other people that they are counting on us. And for example, the other day, I had a really bad headache when I first woke up, and I thought, I just can't do this. But I got in the shower and I got my Diet Dr. Pepper first that Dan put in the fridge. And, I made the attempt of putting my lipstick on, my deodorant, even, of course, brush my teeth.
Oh, yes. I was waiting for that.
Yes, absolutely. And my dentist tells me I'd brush my teeth too much.
Really? Really?
Yeah.
Like your gums, maybe, or
Because I brush my teeth like at least 6 or 7 times a day.
what? Well, you have every time you have a client, you're in their
Yeah,
face.
when I'm with a patient, I want, so I brush my teeth. And my assistant Janie, when she first started working for me, it was funny because she said, "I've never met anybody that brushed their teeth as often as you do." And so anyway, my dentist, I was telling them about it, and they're like, "Well, don't brush your teeth that much." I'm like, well, I have clients, I have to.
Maybe just do a little swish with
Yeah.
the.
Anyway, back to I did my morning routine, and I was at least present, if you will. I still had I don't feel good, I don't really want to be here, but you come to work, and then it's nice because you're around other people and you see that you are not the only one that is facing problems or struggles. And I was bringing stuff in and out of my car, just kind of minding my own business. And one of my friends stopped me, and there were about 5 people in the lobby out there. And she said, "DiANNA, we are all going through something just really bad. Like, he's received bad news of, physical, problems. She's just got laid off from work. Everybody has problems."
So they were in the waiting room discussing somehow all these conversations, and they were strangers.
Well, I knew the one girl. She's my patient, and I've prayed with her before, and so she knows that I'm.
But she didn't know the other people.
I think that I don't know that she knew all of them, but it was one of those that they were just out in the waiting room, and I hadn't been privy to how they all kind of got as a group talking about the problems and just how enormous life feels right now. It's busy and it's chaotic, and then we get bad news that cancer cells are bad, or somebody has the flu, or somebody was in a car wreck. Life happens, and for whatever reason, those people were gathered together, and I feel like they were put there on purpose to support each other. And again, I'm just coming through, and she says, "Can will you pray? We are all going through something." And of course, when anybody asks you to pray for them, you say, "Well, of course, sure."
I'll put you on my prayer list.
Yes. And so she said, "Oh, great." And so she grabbed my hand, and they all grabbed hands, and I said, "Oh, you want me to do it right now?"
In front of everyone. In front of God and everybody.
So.
Wow. What did you think? Were you taken aback?
You know what? It made me at that one instant realize that I got up for a reason that day. Even when I didn't feel like it, you have to show up. And when you show up, there's a lot of times where God has already been working behind the scenes. And all you have to do is your responsibility of showing up. And He can use us as a vessel if we allow it. Could I have said, "Oh, I'll pray for you when I get home," or they were, each of them, I could see it on their face. And again, I don't know how they all got there. I don't even know a couple of them's names, but
wow,
God is a God of all things and all people, and I, for one, do not understand why we have to go through such bad things in life. And I talk to God about that every day. But I do show up even when I don't want to. Because, first of all, I was raised that way. And my Nana would come down from heaven and give me a pop on the booty if I was not doing my responsibility. And so I grew up seeing them walking the walk and talking the talk, if you will, if you understand that. Meaning,
they didn't just talk the talk, they walked the walk.
Yeah, they actually walked it out, even when it was hard. Because there's going to be, we can't expect, we are not living in an oasis. Why do we expect every day to wake up and there's birds and, flowers.
Like Snow White, and they dress you. The birds dress you, fix your hair.
Yeah, I don't have any of that crew coming to my house.
No woodland creatures are getting your shoes for you.
I'm so telling you, I'm missing out. Can you sign me up for that?
I don't have that either.
I was thinking that you did. So again, we put our hands together, and I was like, "Okay, Lord, here we go." And God just gave me
the words come to you?
Yeah, I didn't know specifics, but in general, God's love covers every type of problem, issue, drama, crisis that you think that you can be going through. And again, hope and love and being with people that lift you up, listening to a podcast that you can identify with the things that we talk about. And if you show up, I promise the things in your past that you have already gone through, God is going to put someone in front of you. You cannot help the entire world, but you can help. And I feel you have a responsibility to help when God places someone in your direct path. And there's power in that. And there is fulfillment in being able to stand in the gap and help someone cross that bridge that you've already been over. Mm-hmm. And it's a very emotional thing for me, because when I meet someone who is going through, say, for example, a divorce, I identify with that because that's happened and it was a bad experience, but I learned from it. Mm-hmm. And every day I still had to show up and learn the lesson, but I wouldn't give anything for it now. And so just sometimes being in the moment where you are can make all the difference for someone else.
Mm-hmm. Do you feel like all those people were believers, or maybe they were like, oh, did any of them seem a little hesitant that maybe you introduced the power of prayer to them, or could you tell?
Everyone seemed to, again, she asked that, and they just, as soon as she grabbed my hand, it was like they were reaching for hope.
So it's like a prayer circle then.
Yeah, it was a prayer circle.
That's awesome.
And when you're hurting, that's the one thing that you're wanting, is to know that everything is going to be okay, mm-hmm. regardless of the outcome. And even if that outcome, in my opinion, means death, you're still okay.
Mm-hmm. A lot of times I'll see on social media posts where there's some tragedy and people put the little prayer hands, or say, I'll pray. And then you have the people who say, instead of praying, do something. That prayer's not going to help. But I feel sorry for that person that doesn't realize you can do both.
That's
Just
right.
because you're praying doesn't mean you're not doing the physical work. But and you probably know the exact scripture, and I don't, about when, was it like 2 or more people gather in prayer, mm-hmm. There's power in that.
There's power in that. Absolutely. Yeah. Yes.
So I think my takeaway from that is that your client, who's also a friend, knew that she could ask you that and it wouldn't be weird.
She knows I have a strong relationship with the Lord.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it's funny because I was saved when I was 17, and then just kind of went a little crazy after a few years later, sowed my wild oats and all that.
Yeah.
And never stopped believing.
Right.
I would pray about things, but someone asked me when I started to go back to church, which wasn't that long ago, asked me, ask yourself, would somebody know you're a Christian? Somebody who met you, a casual acquaintance, or even maybe a pretty good friend, would they know you were a Christian? And I think about it and I thought, maybe not, because I wasn't talking about it. I wasn't sharing my thoughts. I wasn't, for fear of offense, or maybe it just didn't occur to me in my daily life to, that's my personal thing. That's all personal. And all that. And I thought, no, they wouldn't. And if they were describing you, what's the first thing someone would say if they were telling someone else about you? Or, oh, you really like Dena. She's this. How far down the line would they say? She's a Christian. She's a believer. And I don't even know if it would have gotten mentioned. So that really helped me to course correct my life. I mean, you can't always walk in and say, hello, I'm a Christian. How's everybody doing? But I feel like if anybody spends a significant amount of time with you, it should become apparent that that's your belief system.
Because you should walk the walk that you talk.
Yeah, and I wasn't even talking or walking it. I was doing it privately, not ashamed, but like, oh, that might bug somebody, or that's my own little private journey. But I don't think it should be a private journey.
I don't either. And I'm very upfront with people. I talk a lot about the Lord because, I'm not sure how people... I would love for people to find him that don't have him, because he is a great source of hope. And the energy that you get, even just spending time with you, Dena, gives me energy because it's positive and you're uplifting and you want to do good and you want to send good out into the world. And your energy kind of is like a battery. You recharge me, and I love that.
I feel that way about you.
And today you and I both, whether we felt like it or not, we made the choice to be here because we made a commitment and a responsibility.
Yeah, I actually felt like taking a nap, and I thought,
did you
take a nap later?
You're not taking no nap on me. I'll wake you up.
I have this thing when I eat. Like I get up and I'll eat, I feel sleepy. But after I finish it, you do that too? And I think, I'm just going to snooze a little bit longer. But I was excited. I was excited to come and see you.
I'm always excited to come see you.
So I know what you mean. And I think people who, if you're feeling down, you're in your house, you're feeling down, it's always good to get out. It's hard to make yourself maybe go take that shower and some days, it's like, I don't even know what to put on. We all have those moments, but once you get out, amongst people.
And nature. The environment of nature is so healing, to go on a hike or go to the lake and just park your car there and have lunch and have a few moments of silence to just gather yourself and ground yourself every day. And as we not only are renewed by each other, renewed by the Holy Spirit, and the fruit that you put off in your life, which is, the love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, and long-suffering. Those are the fruits of the Spirit. And that is how we are known. In the Bible, it talks about you are known through the fruits. So it doesn't mean you have to come in and say, hello, I'm a Christian.
Yeah.
It is in the way that you act. It is in the way that you treat other people. It's in the way that you talk. And it's also in your talent as far as what God has given within you that he wants you to bring out in order to help others.
Exactly.
And you can't do that if you ain't there.
Yeah, you can't do it if you're at home in bed.
Yeah. So get up. Take that shower. Take that step, because every day is a blessing. There are times where 24 hours can sometimes seem like 24 days. And the next step is to just keep going and look at the good side of whatever it is that's happening to you, because there will be an end. Or the crisis or the drama or whatever, there will be a end one day where God, I just believe, has taken care of everything. We don't have any idea to how massive his power is. There's no way that we can absorb that.
Yeah.
Comprehend it.
Just go out, go for a walk, even if it's just a small, like I can go sit out on my porch and watch the birds or whatever. If you get out, if your presence out in the world is going to affect, like the butterfly effect,
Yes.
how they talk about.
I agree.
You go out, something will happen.
Something will happen.
So bring your presence out there and observe and smile at a stranger, or this sounds corny, but I think it really makes a difference. Like if I'm in the store and I pass somebody and, oh, I love your shoes, or
Yes.
You're worried about people think you're weird or whatever, I'll say, your hair is so pretty. I'm not coming on to you, but you are so pretty, or you don't know what that does to people.
It's unfortunate that our world has turned to where we feel like we can't speak with someone who's just 3 feet from us.
Yeah, everybody keeps their eyes straight ahead.
Well, I mean, they're buying the broccoli and you're buying the tomatoes, and I want to know if the broccoli's good.
Yeah.
I love it when you have people in the store or anywhere that are still willing to put yourself out there. And that's our message of the day is you have to show up even though you don't feel like it. But being out there, like she says, in the world and the energy that you both absorb but then also take out can both be positive things.
Yeah, yeah. So try to show up if you can. Pray for the strength. Try to show up.
Yeah.
All right, we want to leave time for DiANNA'S devotions. So I want to thank you guys for listening. We hope you'll join us for our, something episode. It comes out on Wednesday, sometimes Thursday if I sleep in a little bit. Speaking of not getting out of bed, we love you. I love you, DiANNA. Thank you for always showing up and giving it your all. And DiANNA's devotions are next. So bring us home, DiANNA.
So do you ever find yourself going around the same mountain time and time and time again, and you never ever seem to have a different outcome? And what I'm referencing as the mountain is a problem that you're having, and you keep trying to bulldoze your way through, and you over and over, and you're just unsuccessful. So I have a person that I relied on, which is Joyce Meyer. She is a wonderful Christian minister, and I love some of her quotes because she's just so real. And there are times where things are finished in our life, and we don't need to keep going around that mountain trying to make them continue when they are finished. So I feel like Joyce Meyer says it best, and I'm going to read what she has to say. She says, "If the horse has been dead 10 years, it's time to dismount. If God is finished with something, don't keep trying to do it on your own, because it will never bear any good fruit." So I would encourage you, if you have a problem today and you have been giving it your all to try to solve it, why don't you just give it over to God? You probably might need to dismount, reorganize yourself, regroup, and you can leave a problem or you can keep the problem, and you're going to remain miserable going around that mountain every single time. I hope that you get off that mountain. I have to tell you, when I made the decision to stop going around the mountain, it was the best day of my life, and I have moved forward ever since. So, good luck with all that. We love you guys. Hope you have a fantastic day. Take care of yourself, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.